Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live feed. I'm your buddy Eddie Buffalo. I'm not going to do a financial show, a boxing show, or anything like that today. Getting in the Christmas spirit, and I am half Irish, half Polish, and this is going to be a two-part video. The first day is we're going to make the dough for pierogi. I don't know if anybody knows what pierogi are, but it's pretty easy to do. It's just a lot of work. So let's start off. Show everybody here. Let's see, how can I turn this around here? Well, anyways, so what we're going to be doing, it's a very simple recipe. It's 2 eggs, 2 cups of flour, half a cup of water, half a cup of salt. There's the eggs. There's all the utensils I'll need. There's the flour. And I like using bottled water instead of tap water because it just tastes better to me. And that's a beautiful cutting board that I got from my Becca. And I'm gonna flip it over so I don't mess up the nice carvings on it. And we're gonna get set to go. So just bear with me. I'm gonna turn on my AI. Just me while we're cooking. So, okay, there. So I hope everybody can see what I'm doing here. Hey Star, how are you? Nice to see you. Let me turn on my AI so it catches everything I'm doing here. Okay. And welcome. Like I was saying, I'm actually making pierogis this morning, which is a very simple recipe. This is from my Aunt Alice and Aunt Helen. This is actually Aunt Helen. I have it in her handwriting, and I've gone to the same one every single year. And this is the first year that I'm actually not in Buffalo for Christmas. Usually I make pierogis with Allie Buffalo. And we're not going to be able to do that together this year. I will say, this is just a tip, and I wish there was something more I could tell you about it. But Allie Buffalo is gluten. She has a gluten allergy now. And what we did last year, like leading up to it, she bought gluten flour for the pierogis. And I'm not going to say they were bad, but it's just totally not the same. You know what I mean? It just wasn't good. So I'm going to get started. Take all jewelry off. Just save yourself the aggravation. The one thing I forgot to do is get some bowls out. Because we are going to need bowls when we're finished to put the dough in. See, the reason that you do it over 2 days is that you want there's no yeast in this. You don't want the dough to rise. You want it to relax. So what we'll do is when we make our first thing of dough, we will, what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. We will start. So can everybody see everything there? I don't know. See if it's better if it's up here. No, you really can't see it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get started. Once again, you're gonna start with 2 cups of flour. So I got my handy dandy measuring out there. It kind of sounds like Blue's Clues. I said handy dandy. Didn't mean to. Thank everybody for joining me today. So we're gonna do 1 cup. And what I plan on doing, and what me and Allie did, is we're gonna double everything up. So it calls for 2 cups of flour. So we're gonna actually do 4 and work with a bigger batch, because then we're able to scale it down. And if there's a little bit of flour on the side, leave it, because you're definitely gonna need it when you are kneading the dough, because it becomes very sticky and it gets all over your hands. So, and it goes back, I mean, I don't know if this is just a Polish tradition, the pierogis, but you think about it, it's not a lot of money, you know? Flour, water, and salt, and eggs. So like I said, the recipe calls for 2 cups, but I went with 4. And you kind of want to make a little hill here, okay? And then you want to make like a hole in the middle, because that's where we're going to put the eggs into. So, like I said, the recipe calls for 2 eggs, but we are going to do 4, because we doubled everything. So that's 1, 2. Didn't know Eddie Buffalo could count, huh? 3. And 1 more makes 4. Actually, this is going to be okay because we're going to make 2 batches today. Okay? And you see it's starting to run along the side, which that's okay too. Okay, and I like working right by the sink because I like washing my hands a bajillion times when we are doing this. Okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start by smushing up the eggs, start putting everything together. Okay? And I wish I had a bigger area to work with, but I don't. So we're going to deal with whatever we got here. So we're going to do that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the water. So I'm going to try to get as much of this off first. And I'm going to be cleaning the kitchen after this, that's for sure. I think I'm just going to let the water run while I'm cooking here today. It's probably the best thing to do. And you see all the artwork from my grandchildren. And if you look up top, that is actually a poster from the last year that I owned a basketball team back in Buffalo, New York. So yes, I actually owned a basketball team. And I gotta tell you, it was fun. I met a lot of cool people, but I lost my butt. I lost so much money doing that. But I would have never met the people that I did if I didn't have that opportunity. Okay, so once again, ½ cup of water. I think what we're gonna do, though, like I said, we doubled it up. So my ½ cup. And like I said, you can use tap water if you want. I prefer using bottled water just because I just think it tastes better than the tap water, because I don't want to say that the water is bad here in Greenville, Texas, but sometimes people have said it's like kind of swampy. So we want to make sure that this is an enjoyable experience for everybody. So that's 1/2 cup. And I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to add the other ½ cup after I'm kneading it again. I learned my lesson from the first time. And we also want to add ½ tablespoon of salt. So because we doubled it, I'm going to actually use a full tablespoon of salt. So let's take a look here. So, tablespoon of salt. And I'm going to start kneading again. And I gotta tell you, I don't know how my older relatives did this, because, I mean, this is tough work. You know, a lot of people don't think so, but if you don't do this all the time, I think it's tough, you know. So we're gonna keep on going, knead it, starting to knead it. I don't know if anybody can see that. Uh-oh, I see a Wiccan watching me. How are you? I can't let you come on because I'd have to touch stuff, and I'm not touching anything. So thank you for joining me. Hello, Steve. Hello. I'm not gonna try that name. I'm a Polish fella, and I don't think I could do that name that just showed up. And then we're gonna add some more water. And I'm gonna have to wash the floor when I'm done with this is for sure. And I can't imagine how old this recipe is, because I mean it's been passed down from my aunts to me to my daughters, you know, and you gotta wonder how long it took them to learn how to do this, you know. And like, they were like machines though, man. it was like an assembly system, you know. And so I am going to, tomorrow when I'm actually making the pierogi, I am going to be making sauerkraut pierogi. I'm also going to be making potato pierogi, so I'll have to be making the potatoes today. And I'm also going to be making dessert pierogi. So dessert pierogi, I made 2 different kinds, but I'm only going to make one kind because it's actually only me and Becca for the holiday this year because everybody's back in Buffalo. And as you see, as it's getting sticky, it's like a work in progress. You start adding a little bit more flour, just so that it's not as sticky. Me and Al, we actually smartened up a couple years ago. We got a big blender to knead the dough, and it just took so much time off our prep time and everything. So I think I'm going to wipe those off. I'm actually going to add some more so that I can add some more flour so I can keep on working the dough into a nice round ball. I'm sorry. So, if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer as I'm going along here. But if you see me walk away from the camera, I'm probably washing my hands off so I can add some more ingredients to it. So, yeah. But I don't want to making a mess on the floor, that's for sure. Gross. I'm a very clean person, so it drives me nuts when I see messy stuff. So I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to add a little bit more to it. And then I'm going to fill that up so that I can keep on adding it as I go. Like I said, it is a work in progress all the time. You have to, do what works for you. But don't go too nuts, And what's nice about this, it's fixable. Like if you start having trouble with part of the dough, or it's too sticky or too wet, you just add some add some flour to it. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any guests today because I can't touch anything. But as you see, it's starting to come together into a nice ball. And one of my favorite parts, besides eating the pierogi, one of my favorite parts is actually having leftover dough. Because what I'll do with the leftover dough, I don't know if anybody heard of this. If you're Polish descent, I'm sure you did. But it is kluski noodles. If you've never had them, it's more of a fatter type noodle, So this is going pretty good though. I do like that. Happy with it. I think I did a little bit too much flour, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to it because I want to get the consistency up. And that's about it, really. So Melly, do you have any traditions that you do with your family? What do you guys make? Anything special? Because I don't know if anybody saw the video yesterday, but my daughter Allison, good old Ellie Buffalo, she sent me anise cookies. She did sugar cookies and anise cookies, but anise cookies are my favorite, I could eat those all day long. Too bad they don't last long in my house because I eat them. And Becca was a little bit salty. I said that I wasn't going to share with anybody, and she came over last night. She goes, "Well, I know you're not going to share your cookies with me." I go, "Hey, I'm just saying, So that's your dough. You want to make it, don't go crazy with it. You just take your time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a bowl over here. And I'm going to make a couple more batches. And then we are going to cover it with a wet towel. and put it in the fridge until tomorrow when that's when the real work starts. So I'm gonna end up having to do laundry today. Holy cow. See, I always forget how messy this stuff is. So, and living in an apartment, it's not really great not having a washer and dryer right in your place. So we're gonna start again, okay? Once again, we're going with 2 cups of flour, but because I'm doubling everything, we're gonna go with 4. Once again, you gotta think, this is you're making mead glazed ham. I remember you telling me that you like drinking mead. That's awesome. Is it more sweet or more savory? Because I think I would like to try that. Oops. Yeah, I got a nice flour shower right there. So, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, but I still, you know, the first batch is always the toughest, to be honest with you. So let me let you look what that looks like. So here's the first one. And like I said, I'm gonna put another one in here and we're gonna cover it up once we're done. So, 2 eggs, but we are gonna do 4 because I doubled everything. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm not gonna add the water yet. Almost like a little volcano you're making here, you know, when you're doing everything here. Wish I had a lip on this. That's kind of like going over the side on me a couple times. But looks pretty good. Then I'm going to add half a cup of water. But like I said, I doubled everything. So we're actually going to add a whole cup of water and 1 tablespoon of salt. So because my hands are messy and I don't want to lose any dough, I'm just going to eyeball this bad boy. So it's 1.5 cup of water. And like I said, I'll add it as I go. So I want to make sure that it's all coming together. And I can tell already I'm going to have to add some more flour to this. And one thing that I forgot to add was the salt. But I want to get this going a little bit first before I add the salt. So then I'm going to add another half cup of water. And I'm having a feeling I got to add some more, a little bit more flour to it. Let's keep everything going together here. So I like sharing, you know, traditions, especially when you're not able to go home for a holiday like I am. You know, I actually haven't been to Buffalo since last Christmas. You know, in all hopes of hopes, I'm hoping that I'll be able to go home for a Super Bowl victory. You know, but I've been a Buffalo Bills fan for a long time, and I don't get my hopes up on that. You know, but we had a good team this year, and with who we got left to play, it's like Merry Christmas to the Buffalo Bills, because we are playing tomorrow afternoon. We are playing the New England Patriots in Buffalo, and then the following week we are playing the Jets in Buffalo, and then we are finishing up the season going to New England, and those guys will probably be trying to lock up a high draft choice, so I don't think they're going to show up for that game, but I could be wrong. Any Given Sunday, from that great movie by that same name. So I always like talking about like what movies do you remember the most from Christmas? You know, you flip it around the dial and you see this particular movie's on. What do you stop on? Millie, what is your favorite Christmas movie to watch? Because I know mine is It's a Wonderful Life. I know my kids hate that I make them watch it every year, so I'm sure they're glad. That's one reason they're glad I'm not there this year. In fact, when I had my office in McKinney Square, I was right across the street from a place called the Antique Mall. And I bought a lot of stuff from those guys. A lot of stuff that's in my apartment. My desk is actually a beautiful French provincial desk that I got for next to nothing. And I was in there one day and I found a big trunk. And I'm like, oh my God, that looks like George Bailey's trunk, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. You know, because Jimmy Stewart, he, you know, before everything fell apart in his life, he planned on traveling the world, you know, and that did not come about because, you know, family came first, and that's what he had to do. And so he's like, I want a big one. And the trunk that I found that day looks just like it, for crying out loud. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So I think I forgot the salt. So let me rinse off my hands. I forget how messy this is. Like this is something that, you know, it's better with two people, especially tomorrow, because you'll see on the show tomorrow, we will be, what you'll be doing a lot of times is that one person is rolling out the dough and the other person is filling the dough with whatever goodness you want to do. And that's what me and Allie, I mean, she was pretty good at doing the stuff, what am I trying to say here? She was good at like rolling the dough. She has more patience than I do. And tamping down the pierogis also. Because you're not going to believe what I use as my pierogi mold. What I do is I take a coffee cup, and what I end up doing is flipping the coffee cup over, and that's how I make the pierogi mold. And then the round circle you start filling up. And then you do that. So I'm pretty excited because I want to eat this stuff. And that's all it really is, just kneading it, you know, adding some moisture to it when it feels too dry. If it feels like sandy, you don't want that. You might want to make it a little bit moister. But the reason that you put it in overnight is that it gets pretty tacky, you know, sticky like, and you don't want to do that because it's really hard to do. So we're getting there. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Well, I think I went a little bit crazy with the flour this time. And I'm pretty straightforward when I cook them. I just cook them in, what am I gonna say? I fry them in butter. That's pretty much it. You know, I'm pretty traditional on that stuff. And that's ball number 2. And I know you can, I'm going to show you guys in a second how it almost is flattened out. The first one, as opposed to the second one. Bear with me a second. And that is 2 balls of dough that you guys helped me put together. And then you're gonna take a dish towel, cold water, not super wet, just damp, you know. And I'll usually take it and put it in half. And then cover up the dough and put it in the fridge. That's it. Bye, dough. You got a lot of work to do tomorrow. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. I did. It was cool. You guys kept me company while I was doing a crummy job. And I would like somebody to come offer to wash my dishes now, because that would be fantastic. But tune in tomorrow when we're actually putting the pierogis together. And then on Christmas Eve, we'll be eating the pierogis, because that is a Polish tradition called Wigilia, which is spelled with a W. And basically it is, like I just said, it's a meatless meal. And it's funny because my ex-wife, she, God love her, she tried her best to embrace my traditions, but she made me take her to Burger King before the meal. Because it was mashed potatoes, some type of bean, rice. Back home it was haddock, the fish, the fried fish. And 2 different things. Like, they always try to get me to eat the pickled herring. Oh, Eddie, it's for good luck. I go, I don't need that kind of luck. So I would never eat the pickled herring. But they always give me that. And then the other thing that we really enjoyed, and it's kind of hard to find, especially down here in Texas, is opłatek. Opłatek is, I don't know, for the Catholics out there, it's just like having a communion wafer, but it's like rectangular. And you go around the table and you'll say, Millie, you know, I wish you good luck. She takes off a piece. I wish you good health. She takes off a piece. And you keep on doing it to the person to your left or to your right until your opłatek's gone. And you wish luck and love to everybody. So, all right, well, I'm gonna clean up now since nobody's offering to help me. I had a big job here. So, thanks for watching the show. And tune in tomorrow where we're actually gonna put the pierogis together. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.